Oh, guys, such sad news. Jimmy Kimmel got cancelled.
A better you starts today.
Yes, obviously I know that it was Stephen Colbert. The only reason I said that is so you'd stay for the intro, and I think that you were very wise to do so, because I will pretty much say exactly the same as everybody else. Do you think that it was because of the big companies doing a deal with Trump? Or I think there could be merit to that. I don't know, because like the rest of you, I probably wasn't... I don't know, maybe there was a lawyer watching right now, but I highly doubt they have the time to sit there and click on things that they already know about if you're doing corporate deals of that magnitude. But I will say this. It is possible. Absolutely, it's possible. But, come on the flip side, you would also have to say that it's also possible that it was losing money, because it factually was. And before we go into what that means, I will just say this as well. Oh, I'm sad. Aren't you? Aren't you a little bit? Because, number one, in a talk show, it's just, I don't know. Look, if you're a Zoomer, you're going to sit there and be like, he's got glasses. Boo. But everyone else, that was the pinnacle, wasn't it? The Tonight Show, regardless of whether you watched it or not, you kind of understood that whoever sat in that chair was the most successful man on earth. More so than the president. It's the president every night, right? His nice big mahogany desk, sitting there talking to all the stars with his monologue that, let's be honest, was pretty bland most nights. But damn it, it was because they were trying to capture the biggest audience possible and they were trying to please everyone. And now you just can't do it anymore. And it's really sad, and I understand that obviously the Tonight Show format has changed over the years. Did you know that in the 50s it was pretty much just Ed Sullivan there with a fat cigar every night? Good evening. Today we'll be talking to Harvard's head of English literature about the play Hamlet by Shakespeare. That's what it would be. And now you just watch it and it's just 10 minutes of some celebrity being like, so you were in a Marvel movie as well, were you? Wow, I'm so genuinely interested. It's different. But it's still got that nice visage, and it is sad that it is going. Especially because, you know, the reason that it is going more or less is because Asmongold can do the same thing on his computer now. That's all. He is our new Tonight Show host. Isn't it incredible? Just neckbeards that are good at Warcraft. That is the new Stephen Colbert. So, what I'm saying is, the model has changed, and we all know that it's going that way. They are all dinosaurs, and it's only a matter of time before they all get quenched. Maybe the political leanings towards it changed it a little bit. Who knows? Frankly, I don't want to know. It's an ignorance I can do with. I like it. Give me the ignorance, damn it. Give me the blue pill. But I will say a third thing. I will also say, you know what this is a very good reminder of? There is a really good phrase that hit Silicon Valley. This was in the 2000s, and we are reaping the benefits of it in literally every industry right now because of what Silicon Valley is doing. I mean, most of these big media companies are just owned by Silicon Valley as their own advertising wing. And it is because they understood this: small is beautiful. That's what they understood. Small is beautiful. The reason that Stephen Colbert is losing all that money is obviously because advertising revenue is down, because there's just so many options to advertise with, and the audiences are getting smaller and smaller because there used to be just those 3 options. Now there's 3 million options, and you just don't have the money for a big band. And the big camera swivel thing that you only see in the NFL these days, with the fat guy with the microphone that hasn't changed in size since the 80s for some reason. There's no economic utility for it anymore. It's always in this day and age. Back in the day, obviously, look, if you get a job at Google, good for you, yeah? But that was sort of the business model to success. And it didn't matter if you were in the arts, like Stephen Colbert was. It didn't matter if you were in tech. It didn't matter if you were in banking. It was always link yourself to the biggest thing there is. Same thing with acting. Go to the biggest agency possible. I think that in this day and age, it's completely the other way around. It's like the disruptors are kings. Now I'm just using a bunch of techno babble, but it's definitely true, isn't it? It's like, you see it all the time on the stock market. Every now and then there was sort of the wonder child stock that would go, but most people's stock portfolios would always just be a bunch of blue chips. Now it's kind of just like, who can seek out the next, oh my God, it went from 10 cents to 10 bucks. Oh, this is what everyone sounds like in the stock market. Oh, So that's the new game. And it's sort of the same game in everything, isn't it? It's like, what did I do when I was looking up to it? Obviously, I was always just looking up to, oh my God, being like Jon Stewart or Stephen Colbert. That would be incredible. But it's Australia, so that was my first thing. So by necessity, I had to go down the smallest beautiful path. But, you know, we did that. It's pretty much the same format. It's without the audience. It's without the huge team of writers. We've scaled it back massively. The footprint is there, but what we are chasing is an illusion that was dying, and it is dying purely because we exist. And this is what happens with every generation. And so it all just boils down to this idea, which is adaptability is always going to beat stability every single time. Adaptability will always beat stability, in this day and age especially. Okay, I can give you a very good example of this. Not that long ago, say in the 90s, for instance, if you created an innovative product, you probably had 2-5 years advancement on your competition that you could just write off those profits. I don't know, let's just say we're talking about Westinghouse or something, and they came out with a dryer that's also a washer. I don't even know how old that technology is, but if they came out, then LG would have sat there and been like, oh my God, we are screwed, daddy. And they, what could they do? They had to just kind of reverse engineer it. Like they're kind of just like, I don't know, a plane crashing on Planet of the Apes, and trying to figure it out. That's how they had to move from there. But now, because technology is just so omnipotent, and you can kind of just guess from there, and everybody has their own little spy networks going. You know how long that is now? It went from 2 to 5 years to 6 months if you're lucky. 6 months if you're lucky. Usually you will have an edge of about 3 months. This is how competitive the new world is. This is the world that you exist in. And I think that a lot of the thing is when Zoomers sit there and say, oh, I'm going to be screwed, I don't have a job. Maybe, but I will definitely say this. More and more, those who are quick and adaptable and are not sentimental, those are the ones that are going to succeed. And it doesn't matter what field you are in. You can go trace it right now. The reason that I'm interested in this is because it's sort of like a Friendly Geordies thing, even though like we're like a shit beta version of it. Anyway, screw you, I try. but the thing is, yeah, it's in the same ballpark. And so, obviously, when you look at this, you're thinking, why is this failing? And it purely just comes down to that. What we do is infinitely cheaper. You can say that it is a worse product, but that doesn't really matter, does it? It is about scalability. It's about scalability. You cannot keep these big engines going anymore. We live in the age of the long tail. This is something that I do want you to write down because... First off, I'll explain what the long tail is, but this is very, very important for your future and success. And it doesn't matter where you are in life. You just need to understand that, okay, The Tonight Show, through its time when I'm talking about adaptability, it went from Ed Sullivan talking about Hamlet to, Johnny Carson sitting there and having a laugh with celebrities, but also bringing on a bunch of scientists, and they'd have discussions about the latest in telescope technology. There was kind of a hybrid of that. Then Jay Leno came along, and it was just a big party every night. You'd have all these people on. Then Jimmy Kimmel's there, and it's basically just spraying water in Kim Kardashian's face for that little viral moment. That's pretty much all it is now. Like, it's changed over time. The thing is that is accelerating faster and faster. Yeah? And in my career, I think that I've had to do that a lot. I've had to adapt so much in the same sense that people that were kind of insulated by these big corporations didn't have to for a very long time because the profitability was there, so they didn't have to adapt. And so it's way more of a shock for them when this happens. Whereas, if you're on YouTube, you always are just looking like, fuck, okay, the views are down slightly from this, oh my God. And we always just had that, like where you kind of could just sit there and bullshit the ratings on television so you could just keep the advertising dollars rolling in. In this, you don't. The graph is there for all to see. You can see it right now. That is just a fact of being on this medium. It is brutal, it is relentless, and as a result of that, you have to adapt quicker, which is just the way of the world. It is just the way of the world now. So anyway, in the way of the world is that we live in the long tail. Before, it was kind of just, the model was, you make something as safe as possible so that you can put it out to as many people as possible, not offend them, so they sit there and go, the same thing with sitcoms, or everything like that, right? In this day and age, you are just looking for little targeted niches that you can service. And this is in every single field imaginable. It used to always be these big conglomerates. Now it's just smaller and smaller disruptors, finding different little niches. Those niches existing, not existing, morphing with other ones. This is the new chaos that we live in now because we live in this digital age where you are getting to the point where things like Stephen Colbert, like these massive institutions like Tonight Shows, like the stables of these broadcast networks, gone. Scary time. But for those that are able to adapt, there has never been a better time in history to exist. Never. I mean, think about it. Would I be able to enjoy the life that I have had, and would I have been able to have the impact unless we lived in these turbulent times? Absolutely not. I did not have the connections. I was poor growing up. I had no way whatsoever into one of these things. And look, the thing is, in Australia, those industries don't even exist anyway. But I was able to carve something out here. It doesn't mean that it'll always exist, but this is what I'm saying. I think that we live in an age where things are constantly changing. And you have to accept that. And you have to accept very, very quickly that there is no room for that delusion anymore. You can't just live in this world of like, oh, we're just going to continue on like it's the 90s forever. Life will move quickly without you. So what is the key to adaptability? That's the big question. In your field, what is the key to adaptability? Who's doing it? How are they doing it? I'll tell you one thing very quickly off the bat right now. This is pretty much it. Instead of resisting somebody that is doing better than you in your field, you just Samsung it to Apple. You just sit there and you go like, what are you doing? And then you copy that. That's the big one, right? You got to get rid of the sentimentality of, oh, you know, the way that we're doing it, we're servicing the customers better and all this kind of stuff. It's just like, the customer wants that. So you got to deliver that. And I think that honestly, if you just look at your competition in that very cold way of, they're doing this right, let's adapt to that, there's never been a better time to exist for you, for anyone. Adaptability has led to a world where everybody has way more opportunity than they ever had before, but you need to grasp that. And we also need to give you the superior mindset to do it, don't we? So you should sign up to Jordan Shanks for 3 extra videos a week where we don't do this thing where we try and tack on some other attention so that we could leech off it. I just give you raw self-help. And why do you need raw self-help? Because I'm telling you now, we live in the age of the mind. And what is the mind? It is purely a psychological battle. That's it. There is an inner game and outer game to life. And self-help is all about getting you in the pitch perfect results for in a game. Pitch perfect. And once you get those pitch perfect results, you are able to perform better in the outer game. Over and over and over again. You will see the tennis coaches, if they're a good tennis coach, they're not just talking about technique the whole time. They're sitting there and just being like, just imagine that that's Roger Federer. So they're like, I hate him. And they get better, right? That is what it is about. It is about priming and conditioning your mind so that you are able to excel. That's why I think that you should sign up to Jordan Shanks, because it is just daily conditioning. It is somebody sitting there saying, this is what you need to focus on. This is what you need to do. And the thing is, you get stronger and stronger and better at doing that every time. People always start out on the self-help channel and they're just like, oh, yeah, this is hard, it's tiring. And then after a while, your brain adapts to it and realizes, I need my weights. I need to lift it up. So that is getting to the next level as quickly as possible. Is signing up to Jordan Shanks. It's the price of a coffee. It is absolutely nothing. If you don't do it, you're a failure. There, I said it. Only winners sign up.